Hello, today we are going to multiply binomials and trinomials, starting with book 3 on page 22. So here we go. First of all, we have two binomials here. We're going to multiply each term in the bottom by each term on the top. So I'm going to go 3x times 5x is 15x squared minus 6x plus 20x minus 8. Then I add them together, 15x squared. That's a negative 6 plus a positive 20 is a positive 14x minus 8. And that is my final answer. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing. Remember when we multiply terms, we can add the exponents if we have the same base. So x times x cubed is x to the 4th, because 1 plus 3 is 4. Minus 9x, and then 5x cubed. We don't have another 5x cubed, so I'm just going to kind of squeeze it in there. Minus 45. I don't have any other whole numbers, so I'm just going to write down each term separately, and I can't combine any of them. I have to have like terms when I am adding. When I'm multiplying, I add the exponents, and when I am adding the terms, they have to be exactly the same. Okay, so that's it. Now the rest of the problems that I have are on regular paper. Isn't that a novelty? Instead of using a whiteboard. I have these all written out so to save time. Okay, so here we go. We have 3 different terms. So we are going to have to multiply each one on the bottom by each one on the top. So we're going to start with the first one. We're going to go x times x is x squared. X times y is xy plus xz. Now we're going to go to the negative y. Remember, that's a negative y. So it's negative y times x is minus xy. And I'm going to keep them in the order. Even though it's y times x, I'm going to say xy. Okay, and then I'm going to go negative times a positive is y squared. That's going to be a negative y squared minus yz. Okay, and I'm going to put that out there because I have no other terms that are yz. Now I'm going to multiply z times everything, xz. So I do have an xz here. So it's a positive xz. And then yz. So plus yz. Do I have another? Yes, I have a minus yz. So plus yz. I'm going to put that over here. And then z times z is z squared. I have no other z squareds. Okay. So now this row, I am going to add everything together. Now I'm adding. So I multiplied each term on the bottom by each term on the top. Watch those negative signs. And now I'm going to add them together. So there's no other x squared, so I'm just going to put x squared down here. Positive xy plus negative xy, so those make 0. Positive xz and positive xz is going to be 2xz. 2. That's a 2. And I usually put that little line on the z because my 2's and z's can look similar. Okay, and then it's going to be minus y squared. I have minus yz and plus yz, so those cancel to 0. And then I have plus z squared. So x squared, x, y squared, z squared. And that's my final answer. None of those terms can be put together, combined. Okay, the terms have to be exactly the same to add them together. Now I'm going to work on number 15. Okay, a squared is a to the 4th minus 7a cubed plus 2a squared. Negative 2a times a squared is negative 2a cubed plus 14a squared minus 4a, and then multiply 3 times everything. So 3a squared. So I'm going to move that over here. 3 times a squared is 3a squared minus 21a plus 6. And now I'm going to add the like terms. I only put like terms underneath the like terms. It makes it easier to add. Just watch those negative signs. I can't say that enough. It's a big, huge issue. Okay, so a to the fourth, negative 7 plus negative 2 is negative 9, a cubed, plus 16 plus 3, which is 19a squared, minus 21 plus negative 4 is negative 25a, plus 6. And that is my final answer. Okay, I can't combine any other terms, so that is my final answer. Okay, sometimes the answer has a lot of terms to it. Next, I'm going to skip down to number 18. So x squared times x is x cubed plus x squared y minus xy. All right, and then I'm going to come down to negative y times x squared is negative x squared y minus xy squared. There's no other xy squared, so I'm going to put that xy squared plus y squared, because a negative times a negative is a positive. So that's what we have so far. Now we are going to combine like terms. So x cubed, there are no other x cubed, so x cubed, a positive and a negative, x squared y, that would cancel those to 0. Minus xy minus xy squared plus y squared. And that is my final answer. Okay, so that is number 18. Number 18. Okay, so that is page 22. I'm thinking that you can check those on your paper. And if you have any questions on any of those on page 22, you can let me know. That's a demonstration of how to do page 22. And we are now going to move on to page 23. 23 says we are going to arrange the polynomials in order and then multiply. Okay, in order means we're going to go alphabetically and exponents descend and then they ascend. Okay, we've talked about that before, and you can see that on page 23. So just put them in order first. That just makes it easier when you're adding your terms. Okay, so we're going to look at page 24. And the first one, number 1, it says a minus 2b times b minus 2a. So we're going to put those in order. So we're going to say, okay, we have a and then a b, and then we have a a. We're going to switch it. And if you have a minus sign there, you have to attach it to the following number. So it's negative 2a plus b. All right, and then you can multiply it. Now I'm putting one under the other because that's how we did it on the last page. Okay, so now we're going to go negative 2a times a, which is negative 2a squared. Negative 2a times negative 2b is plus 4ab. b times a is ab minus 2b squared. Now I'm going to add them together. And I'm going to get negative 2a. I'm going to write it over here because I'm running out of space. Negative 2a squared plus 4 plus 1, which is 5ab, minus 2b squared. Okay, so only those two middle numbers combined. Okay, so now the next one is number 2, and you can see that I have x squared first, then a whole number, then an x, and I have 2 whole numbers. Okay, so 5 and 6. I can add 5 and 6 together. That makes 11. Okay, so I can add the 5 and 6 together. That's 11. And then I can do 3x squared minus 4x. Okay, Then the next polynomial or trinomial, I can put the x squared first. I'm going to put it underneath here. 6x squared minus 7x plus 8. Okay, now I'm going to multiply. These are multiplying because I have no plus or minus here, and I have parentheses, so I am multiplying. Multiplying means I have to multiply each term in the first trinomial times each term in the second trinomial. So I'm going to have at least 3 rows for this one. So 3x squared times 6x squared is 18x to the 4th. Because remember, I'm multiplying, so I combine, or I add the exponent. 6x squared times negative 4x is negative 24x cubed. Now I know why it's hard to use a pen when you are, vertical, right? That's why we use felt tips, but okay, so here we go. 6x squared times 4x, 6x squared times 11 is 66x squared. Then negative 7x times 3x squared is negative 21x cubed plus 28x squared minus 77x. Then we do 8. 8 times 3x squared is 24x squared. 8 times negative 4x is minus 32x. And then times 11, which is 88. And now I can combine like terms. If you notice, I put only like terms underneath the like terms. So now I can combine them. All right, so I'm going to go 18x to the 4th minus 45x cubed. And then I'm going to add 18. 10 plus 8 is 18. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 118x to the second. And then they're both negatives. Negative 77x and negative 32x. So it's negative 109x plus 88. So I believe that is the right answer. Let me look that one up. 18x to the 4th minus 45x cubed, 118x squared minus 109x plus 88. Yep, that is the right answer. That is number 2 on page 23. All right, now we're going to work on number 3. If you need more time, go ahead and stop the video. That's the nice thing about this video. I can just keep going and you can stop it if you need to. If I have A plus B quantity squared, okay, this means A plus B times A plus B. That's what that means. And there's no shorter way of doing it. It does not mean A squared plus B squared, okay? You have to multiply each term in one times each term in the other. Okay, so I'm going to go A plus B, A plus B. A times A is A squared plus AB. B times A is AB plus B squared. And then I add them together. A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. And I am done. Okay. So it means you have to multiply each one times each one in the other binomial. So you have to do it that way. There's no shortcut. All right, next page. We are going to be looking at we're still on page 24. And just checking my work here, page 24. Okay, so we have page 24, okay, so I did not do all of them on page 24 at the top. I did 1 and 2, and you can do the rest on your, I did do number 4. So let's look at number 4. We have 2x minus 1 quantity cubed. Okay, so this means that I have to do 3 of these. So I'm going to do 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. Okay, and then I'm going to get an answer, and then I have to multiply it by 2x minus 1 again. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared minus 2x. 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. And then I add them up, 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. And now I have to multiply that by 2x minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to need some more space. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to rewrite it. 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 times 2x minus 1. So I have a binomial on the bottom, so that means I'm going to have 2 rows on this bottom part. So 2x times 4x squared is 8x cubed minus 8x squared plus 2x. Negative 1 times 4x squared is negative 4x squared plus 4x and minus 1 because it's a negative 1 times a positive 1. You can stop the video if you need to. Freeze the video, whatever you need to do. Now I'm going to add the terms. So 8x cubed minus 12x squared plus 8x minus 1. And I am done. All right. So now we are moving on to number 5. Is 5x plus 4x squared. Ooh, this one has to be rearranged. Okay, so I'm going to put x cubed first. X cubed plus 4x squared plus 5x minus 24. And then the other trinomial has to be rearranged too. X squared minus 4x plus 11. Now this is going to be about 3 rows because the bottom polynomial is 3 terms. So that means I'm going to have 3 rows. So I don't have a lot of room there, do I? All right, so x squared times x cubed is x to the 5th plus 4x squared plus x squared is 4x to the 4th. X squared times 5x is plus 5x cubed minus 24x squared. Okay, so that is the first one. Now I am going to move on to the second one, which is negative 4x. So negative 4x times x cubed is negative 4x to the 4th minus 16x cubed minus 20x squared plus, let's see, 24 times 4 would be 96x, and that's going to be plus because negative 4 times negative 24 is positive. All right, so that's my second row. Now I'm going to multiply 11 times everything. So 11x cubed plus 44x squared plus 55x. And then 24 times 11, I'm going to do that over to the side. 462 is minus 264. And I wrote all of that out. I did fit it in. And now I'm going to combine like terms. So x cubed is alone. Positive plus negative 4x to the 4th cancels to 0. Negative 16 plus positive 16, because 11 plus 5 is 16. So all of those x cubed terms cancel out. Negative 24 plus negative 20 plus positive 44, all of the x squareds also cancel out. So they cancel out to 0 because I have a positive and negative of the same thing. So now I have a positive 96 plus 55 is 11, 15, 151x minus 264. So I have x cubed plus 151x minus 264. And if you need to stop and just take your time on this, go ahead and do that. Now number 7 I put in here because this one you need to keep in mind that anything to the 0 power is 1, okay? So it doesn't matter what I have to the 0 power, it cancels out to 1, or it reduces to 1. All right, so that one was easy. Number 7, quick answer. Okay, now number 8, I have this one squared and then times this. So I have to do 2x plus y times 2x plus y. Multiply that out. 2x times 2x is 4x squared plus 2xy. That's 2x times 2x plus y. And then I do y times 2x is 2xy. Y times y is y squared. I get 4x squared plus 4xy plus y squared. Now I have to multiply that by 3x minus 2y. So 3x minus 2y. That is not going to fit, so I'm going to have to rewrite it over at the side. 4x squared plus 4xy plus y squared times 3x minus 2y. Okay, so each term, 3x times each term, and then y, 2y, negative 2y times each term. So 3x times 4x squared is 12x cubed plus 12x squared y plus 3xy squared. And now the next one is negative 2y. So negative 2y times 4x squared is negative 8x squared y, negative 8xy squared minus 2y cubed. And then I combine like terms. So 12x cubed minus 6x squared y minus 5y squared minus 2y cubed. And I can't reduce it any further. Okay, so that is page number 24, number 8. Okay, stop the video if you need to review anything. And we're moving on to the checkup. So page 24, the checkup. The checkups are really good because they review. So it just helps you to say, hey, now I'm going to go back in time after we do the same thing a bunch of times. Can you still remember what we did before? Okay, so here we have a 3 outside of x plus y. That just means you're going to distribute the 3 times x plus 3 times y. 3x plus 3y. And that is it on that one. 7x times x is 7x squared minus 70x. That's number 2. Number 3 is a little more complicated, but the whole numbers, you multiply them by each other. Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. X squared, x cubed. Remember, when you're multiplying, you add exponents. So x squared plus 3 is 5, and then a y. And then that's times that. Now we have to multiply by that. So negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6, x to the 4th, y squared. Negative 21, x to the cubed, y cubed. And that is your final answer. You can't reduce it any further. Okay, x squared times x is x cubed plus 3x squared, and that is the final answer. Okay, 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. 1/2 times 2 is 2 over 2, or 1. So 1/2 x plus 1. 2x cubed times 8x is 16 x to the 4th minus 2x cubed. And I hope some of these seem kind of easy for you because we are reviewing. Okay, solve and verify. So here we have x's here and whole numbers. So we're going to come out with x equals something. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute 4x. 4x plus 12 and then minus 6. The 6 is outside the parentheses, so we don't put that in there. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x plus 10 and then plus 8. All right, so then I'm going to combine. 12 minus 6 is 6, so 4x plus 6 equals negative 2x. 10 plus 8 is 18. And then I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So I get 6x plus 6 equals 18. Subtract 6 from both sides. I get 6x equals 12 and x equals 2. Now it does say verify. So what you're going to do to verify is you're going to plug that 2 in the original equation. So you're going to go back here, plug the 2 in, and see if you get a true statement, like 2 equals 2 or 1 equals 1, whatever that comes out. If it comes out to a true statement, then you have verified it. All right, and now we're going to move on to number 20. I did a lot of the binomial multiplication. I'm hoping that you're good with those. If you have any questions on page 24 to 25, please let me know. Okay, so number 20, we are again going to solve and verify. So you're going to multiply x times 2x is 2x squared, plus x times 3 is 3x minus 5. 7 minus 3. Okay, so now we have a minus outside the parentheses, and that has to be distributed. So it's going to be a negative 3 and a positive 2x squared. There's no whole number there, so it's just distributing the negative sign. And if you don't do that, you won't end up with a true statement. All right, now I have 2x squared on each side. So if I subtract 2x squared from both sides, both of those are going to cancel to 0. So subtract 2x. So now I can get rid of those, and I'm left with 3x minus 5 equals 7 minus 3, which is 4. So now add 5 to both sides, and I get 3x equals 9. So x equals 3. That is solving. Now you verify by plugging that in the original equation and do it out. All right, we're moving on. If you need time, you can stop the video. Excuse me. The next page is division of polynomials. Read the page, top page of 26. Set up problems as indicated. Okay, so what we're doing here is we are splitting up our fractions and making more than one fraction. So we have 27a cubed over 9a squared minus 36a squared over 9a squared. Okay, so we're breaking it up into two different. Remember, when we add fractions, we keep the denominator the same. So that's what we're doing here. We're splitting it up. Instead of adding them, we're just splitting them up. Now we can simplify each fraction. So 27 over 9 reduces to 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I'm left with an a up here and just a 1 on the bottom. 36 divided by 9 is 4. A squared divided by a squared is 1. So I end up with 3a minus 4. And that is my final answer. And that's how I do all of these. Okay, so the next one, we're going to do negative 12x sixth y to the fourth over negative 4x squared y squared minus 4x squared y squared over negative 4x squared y squared. Okay, so those are my two fractions. So I'm going to reduce negative 12 over negative 4 is positive 3. 6 minus 2 is 4. So I get x to the fourth on the top. 4 minus 2 is 2. So I get 3x to the fourth y squared on the top, 1 on the bottom. Now I have a negative and a negative. So that means this fraction turns to positive. So 4 over 4, and then it's just 1. So it's not just 3x to the 4th y squared, but it's plus 1. You got to remember this fraction right here is 1. So my final answer is 3x to the fourth y squared plus 1. And that's it for that one. Okay, so you're doing that all on page 26, breaking the fractions up. Now we're going to go on to page 28, which is dividing using long division. Okay, so we are getting to the end of this book. Now, hopefully this is review for you, and this is easy. We're just reviewing and getting this solidified. Remember, you can only add like terms. They have to be exactly the same. You cannot combine like x to the third plus x to the fourth. You can multiply x cubed times x to the fourth. Okay, so there's a difference. But now we are moving on to division. We are going to divide using one letter. So what times a gets a squared? It'd be a. So a times a is a squared. You put your a squared, and then you say a squared. You subtract. So you subtract here, and then it comes to 0, and bring down your next term. A times what is negative ab? It'd be negative b. So then I change the signs, and I get 0. So your answer is a minus b. Now, how do I check this? I come over to the side and I go a minus b times a. And I do it the way I did before. A times a is a squared minus a times b is ab. And that answer should be the same as your dividend. Okay, it's just like when you're multiplying and you have 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. So this answer times this answer equals the dividend, which is here. Okay, so the next one is negative 8 times what? Negative 8a cubed times what is negative 8a to the 10th? It'd be just a to the 7th, because I'm just going to add the exponents or subtract. So let's see. So let's see, 8a to the 7th, so that would be negative 8, a to the 10th, that cancels to 0. Bring down negative 16, a to the 5th. What times 16, what times this will give you this? Let's see, 2a squared. So plus 2a squared. So that would be negative 16, a to the 5th, and that would be correct. So how do I check it? I go a to the 7th plus 2a squared times negative 8a cubed. Okay, so that's what I have to check. So negative 8 times that is negative 8a to the 10th minus 16a to the 5th. And that should be the same as my dividend. Okay, so now on all of these, on the next page, they want you to check. So that's something that I didn't put in the video that I made earlier a few days ago, and some people did not do the check part. So if it says check, I would like you to do the check. Okay, so page 28 and page 29 was the check. Okay, so this page did have the checks. Then we moved on to page 30 and 31. Okay, so 31 was the page that had the checks on it. The student has it done like this, just to give you an example. Okay, so if you do not have the checks filled in, I would like you to go ahead and check your work on page 31 and fill in the checks. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I think that we did a lot in this video, and hopefully this was helpful to you. If you got through it really quick because you did everything, yay. If you still have questions, please write down your questions. And we are now up to page let's see, we did up to page 31, which I just showed you. And we did 31 and 30. If you can do up to 31 and 32, which is 2, I will review some of that in the next video, and we'll quit this video for now. Thank you for watching.